Is MSP good or bad?
That's a great question, man. I've been asked that a lot of times, and I don't know where my I don't know where to go from a political view or but purely from economics. Like, I think if you remember demand and supply diagrams, and if you talk about minimum wage or anything, you have the basic line that goes through, and you have a misalignment with quantity demanded and quantity supplied. That's where I'll probably leave my answer over there. That there is dead weight loss, there is market failure, there is. So I think it's less efficient than otherwise, but it's also protectionist, and I totally appreciate that sort of thought process. And I think farmers would realize, I think there's two things that will happen, right? Like, we grow too much of certain things that we don't need because we want to stockpile and keep and so on and so forth. And that's fine maybe, but then farmers get tuned to that. They're like, okay, well, why should I grow something else? Like, if I'm growing rice, I'm growing rice. Ideally, they shouldn't be growing so much rice. We have stockpiles of rice that get wasted. Some days there's less, some days there's more. So there's no forecasting or planning on how much food we actually need, how much grain we actually need. So this whole government buying of food for storage and food security, I think is good naturally because we're such a large country and we need that. But it's also messing up the market dynamics, right? So if you let an efficient market dictate what the price is, maybe some farmers who can grow rice more efficiently will grow it, while others won't. And then maybe you'll have more bajra and jowar and all of those kind of things.
But even when you're promising 80 crore people rice, how can you not produce it?
No, absolutely. And it's rice is like a massive contributor to our country's calories and the world's calories. So absolutely fine, but I still feel like there is wastage of rice. I think we're producing more than we need in some situations. In some situations we produce less, so we stop, we ban the export, so on and so forth. So as I said, there's no forecasting or there's no science in terms of how much we're actually producing. So blanket MSPs for everybody that wants to grow rice is probably not the way forward, is my thought process. And if there's no rice, then the thought process is that you could, over time, consumer patterns may change. Rice is not a very nutritious crop as well. It's good, but it's there's better crops, more indigenous crops, more nutritional crops. So that's what I'd sort of said. It's a very complex and loaded question. So take whatever I said with a pinch of salt.